Find your way here.
Find your way here.
Find your way here.
To a community of people guided by the wisdom of a goddess and the spirit of a warrior.
At UNC Greensboro,
we transform lives every day.
Every day. On campus, in our hometown, our home state,
and around the world. Start with excellence.
Find your passion, your purpose, your inspiration here.
Through research and teaching, scholarship and service.
Competing for championships and seizing our moments.
We welcome every Spartan, just as they are, just as we are.
Just as I am.
I am.
I am.
We start with excellence.
And after graduation,
we excel, we achieve, we make an impact.
Find your wow, your breakthrough, your aha moment, your pride, your story here.
by being true to our core, we have earned the right to say,
We are the best at what we do.
We are.
We are.
We are UNC Greensboro.
A national leader in a thriving city.
Right here in the heart of North Carolina.
Find your way.
Find your way.
Find your way here.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to the live stream brought to you by the admissions office here at UNC Greensboro. My name is Trey. I am our host this evening for the UNCG Undergraduate Admissions Town Hall inaugural event for spring 2021, where we are talking about you're in, now what? If you have questions, and I'm sure you do, I hope that you are able to text us those questions. We are able to answer them live for you today, and we are joined by an expert panel, and you can now see them on your screen. They are here to help you out. So we are joined by some folks from housing, from orientation, from our residential colleges, and we have got some students available to answer all of your questions. So please send us in those questions. Just text us to that number there on your screen, and that number is 336-892-8051. All right, panel, let's go ahead and introduce everyone. Let's start with the person who is in the square next to mine, and that is Austin McKim. Austin, tell us who you are and what you do here.
Hey, good evening, everyone. My name is Austin McKim. I work in new student transitions and first year experience. I have the privilege of overseeing our new student orientation program, what we call Soar here at the university. My favorite part about UNCG, especially this year, is that we're excited to welcome you all virtually for students to allow you all to connect with our orientation leaders this summer. We're really looking forward to having a chance to meet you all.
Fantastic. Thank you, Austin. All right, Emily and Chris. Emily, let's hear from you. Y'all are both in housing. Tell us who you are and what you do here.
My name is Emily Ainsworth. I'm the Assistant Director for Occupancy Management. I oversee all of the assignment applications and self-assigned processes. And I love working at UNCG just because I have a lot of flexibility and I get to do different things working with the front office. And it's just a challenge and I love working here.
Love it. All right. Thank you, Emily and Chris.
Hi, all. I'm Chris Gregory, Assistant Director for Residence Life. I work with the professional and RA staff who live and work within the residence halls, and I love working at UNCG because we have outstanding students, of which you are now part of that. So I look forward to meeting you soon.
Absolutely. And you are absolutely a part of the Spartan family from the moment that we hit admit on your application. You are a Spartan, and we do hope that you join us here in the fall. Now, I am going to jump around just a little bit. We're going to go down to Professor John Sopper from Grogan Residential College. John, tell us who you are and what you do here. Oh, and John, you are muted.
Sorry about that. Good evening, everyone. I was saying it's great to be on with you. As was mentioned, I am with the Grogan Residential College. I'm the faculty director there, and really looking forward to a new group of students coming to join our community. Looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Thank you, John. All right, and Sarah Littlejohn from Ashby and Strong Residential Colleges.
Hi, folks. Welcome to UNCG. Yay. I direct Ashby and Strong Residential Colleges, the two other residential colleges along with Grogan here at UNCG. My favorite thing about UNCG and being here is getting to know students well. So as I look around my screen, I have 3 former students here, which is wonderful. So that's just a lucky break. That's a great opportunity for me, and I feel lucky about that. And I teach English and writing and rhetoric and research. Good stuff, all great things, which you'll grow to love, right, former students? Okay, that's good.
Absolutely. As a former student of Sarah, or Dr. Littlejohn, I will say absolutely. I write all day long, and I am glad that you have taught me well. Alrighty, and now we have gotten to what I would almost consider the most important part of the live stream, where we talk to our students. And just because you're next in line, let us have Marcus Keith from Grogan Residential College introduce yourself. Marcus, tell us who you are and what you do here.
Hey everybody, my name is Marcus Keith. I am a second-year student at Grogan College. Woo, woo, woo! I am a communications major, so this is what I love to do. I love talking to people, making you feel welcome. And I hope you all use this opportunity and take what we say, feel comfortable, ask us questions, and feel free to stay.
Fantastic. All right, let's go up and diagonal. Bethany from Ashby Residential College. Bethany, tell us who you are, what you're studying here.
Hi everyone, my name is Bethany and I'm a sophomore here at UNCG. I'm majoring in arts administration with 2 minors in technical theater and musical theater. And I'm an orientation leader here in the Ashby Residential College. Other than that, I have on-campus jobs as a peer academic leader, and I'm a former Spartan guide like our friends Will and Deja here.
Love that. Thank you, Bethany. All right, and Deja, you are one of our Spartan guides. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi everyone, my name is Deja Kenyon. I'm a senior communication studies major from Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm a Spartan guide and I'm really looking forward to being here. Just like Marcus, this is something I love to do, communicating with prospective students and, you know, new students coming in. So I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, and Will, another one of our Spartan guides.
Hi everyone, I'm Will. I'm a junior here at UNCG, currently majoring in public health education with a concentration in community health. I also have a minor in classical studies, which I'm enjoying way more than I thought I would. I'm also a part of the Ashby Residential College. I serve there as an upper class mentor, and it's been really fun so far, and I look forward to potentially seeing some of y'all there.
Fantastic. Alrighty, and Katie, who is one of our Spartan orientation staff members. Katie, take us home.
Hi everyone, my name is Katie Goldsmith. I am a junior psychology major minoring in business. I'm from Durham, North Carolina. I'm a part of Spartan orientation staff, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you all during Soar this summer.
Fantastic. And speaking of Soar this summer, Austin, tell us what we can expect in orientation, advising, and registration this summer.
Absolutely. Thanks, Trey. A couple of things I want to highlight. First off is that if you know for sure that you're coming to UNCG, make sure you confirm your intent to enroll in Spartan Link. That'll then allow you to sign up for Soar, make your Soar reservation in our new student portal, where you'll take some action items there. For example, for our first year students to complete the class schedule interest survey and then make your Soar reservation. For this year, we're offering 4 different specific programs for Soar to help with your onboarding experience to the university. So first is what we're calling the Before You Soar video series. We'll have some videos that'll go live in early May that you'll watch prior to Soar that'll help you get ready for that experience. For example, we'll have some information about housing to help you get ready for that. The second piece is the one-day virtual experience. Throughout the day, students will have small groups over Zoom, for example, with one of our SOS Katie and many others of the team throughout the day. We'll have a live virtual campus resource fair where you have a chance to meet some campus departments and our sponsors. And then we'll also have a live student organization fair where we have a chance to meet current students and learn about different clubs and organizations across campus, as well as watch some videos about some important information throughout the day. We'll also have a Canvas course that'll house all of our materials and videos so you can make sure you review any important information after Soar. And then last but not least, we're hoping to host some live Q&A similar to these throughout the month of June around some specific topics. So we've got a wide range to make sure you get all the information that you need and have a nice, easy, smooth transition to UNCG.
Fantastic. Thank you, Austin. We do actually have a question coming in from Layla, and Layla is wondering what exactly the new student fee covers.
Yeah, that's a great question. So the new student fee is pretty much a comprehensive fee for all new students entering the university. So that not only covers the Soar cost for students, it also covers the guest cost for any guests attending the virtual Soar program. It also covers programs that our office hosts, for example, Rock and Welcome Weeks, Navigate, Your First Year, all the basically things you get to experience as a new student is all covered in that fee.
Fantastic. I know last year there were a lot of questions about why am I paying this new student fee when I might not even be on campus? Well, guess what? We were on campus and we're going to be on campus again this semester. So we are very excited to have all of our students back on campus. Some of them might be virtual, some of them might be hybrid, but we will still be here. And talking about being on campus, Emily, you are the one who puts people in the rooms. So Layla is wondering how to request a roommate whenever you're filling out the housing application.
Yeah, sure. So with our application, we actually do self-assign for our freshmen this year. So I'll show, do you want me to go ahead and talk about the whole application process, Trey?
Go for it. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen to explain a little bit more like from the beginning. So let me see if I can do this really quick. All right, can you guys see my screen? So this is the housing website. If you go to the home screen, oops, I'm already on the apply. So if you go, when you first go to our website, it's hrl.uncg.edu. This time of year, you'll see a lot about Apply Now, Artemis housing portal. So let me just talk a little bit first about our housing portal. Artemis is what we call it. To log in as a new first-time student, you'll need to go to, and you just saw, I went to Take Action, Apply with Artemis, and then if you scroll down, you'll see for new first-year applicants, kind of the steps you might want to take. We have people talking later about the special interest communities, which are our residential colleges. You can find more information about our residence hall. And then the next step is very important to be able to log into Artemis. You have to claim your Isparton email account. That's the email or the username and password you will use to log into Artemis. So once you do that, it takes 2 business days for your Isparton to go from the university system to the housing system. So if you just confirmed your UNCG Isparton account, it may take 2 business days for you to be able to log in. But keep checking. We run that process to push people over daily, Monday through Friday. So if you do it first thing Monday morning, it could be done by Monday afternoon or Tuesday. It just takes 2 business days. So keep checking. If after 2 business days, after you've confirmed your Isparton email account, you still can't log into Artemis, contact our housing office and we'll be able to help you with any issues that may have happened with that process. So that's very important. The next step is to test your Artemis account. So you want to try to log in. Now the application's already gone live. So as soon as you log in, you should be able to go ahead and apply for housing. When you do the housing application, you'll agree to the housing contract. So that's definitely something important that you can read from our housing website. And then the next step is using Artemis to assign yourself, self-assign, which I don't know if that's not right. We need to update that. Sorry. So the next step is to self-assign, and that information's on our deadlines page. And all the information about self-assign is on our website. So, and these are the times you'll go in and self-assign. So I'm gonna go ahead and log into Artemis. As you'll see, I'm using my Isparton username and password to log in. I've set myself up as a new first-time student. It's a first-time freshman. A common question we get is, I just graduated, but I'm coming in as a sophomore, junior. I don't know about senior, but so am I a first-time freshman? So it's how you're admitted to the university. So you'll have to work with admissions. If you're admitted as a new first-time student, you're seen as a new first-time freshman. If you are admitted as a transfer, you'll be seen as a transfer. So when you log in, you'll see the transfer page, and their process is a little bit different. So I'm going to go through the application with you really quick. So the first step, it just kind of gives you an overview of what you're going to do. Here you have your special interest community preferences. So if you're interested in living in Ashby, Strong, Grogan, or the Honors College, or if you're a freshman athlete, you can let us know. Or you can just put you don't want it, you're not interested in a special interest community. The next step is to put down your building preferences, and you have to list them all. This is just to help us. If you don't self-assign in the first 4 waves, you'll be manually assigned in June, and these building preferences will help us place you in a space that you prefer. And you'll see Grogan is on here. The 6th, 7th, and 8th floors of Grogan are not part of the residential college. So if you want to live there and not be part of the college, then you can select this. Or you can just, select it and still apply for Grogan. And if you don't get in, you could possibly, be in there on the 6th, 7th, or 8th floor. So once you've selected all the building preferences, you'll click next step. And then here's the roommate group pin. And so this is how you kind of request a roommate. Your roommate group pin is a field that's attached to your person, like your name. So my name is Emily, my first name is Emily, my last name is Ainsworth, and my roommate group pin is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will use this information to share with another student that I want to live with. And that's how we will sign up together. On March 15th is the first day that freshmen will be able to self-assign, and that if they'll sign up as a group of 2. If I have a roommate preference, I'll sign up as a group of 2, and I'll share my roommate group pin with the other student, and she can log in and pull me into the group and assign us together, or I can have her share with me her university ID and roommate group pin, and I can sign us up together. So that's how that process works. But to continue with the application, you have to select a meal plan. Again, this is used for if we have to assign you in July. And then you agree to the contract. If you are under 18, you'll have to have a parent or guardian co-sign, and you just put in their email address, and it'll send them an email to co-sign the contract. And I accept it. And then the next step, it gives you a summary, but you haven't actually completed the application until you click finish. So you make sure you do that. Now the next part, and I'm gonna actually close out and just show you on this page. You can do it from that finished up, but the next part is to either check to see if your prepayment's waived. If it's not waived, you have to make the $200 prepayment to be eligible to self-assign. So I can check, and my prepayment is not waived, so I have to go through and make the prepayment. And let me just go ahead and talk a little bit about what the prepayment is. It's basically $200 that you pay now, and you get back on your spring bill for the next year. So if you pay the $200 now, spring 2022, your bill will have $200 less. You'll have a credit of $200 on your account. And we just do that so that we ensure that students who really want to live here get spaces, because we do the whole self-assign process, and we want to make sure that you're not taking up a space if you're just kind of iffy if you're gonna be here or not, or you're gonna live on campus anyways. So again, you can, after you've done the application and the prepayment, you're ready to be assigned. Again, you can learn about the special interest communities, and I'm sure they'll talk more about how to apply for those and what that looks like. Or you can also use Canvas to search for a roommate to sign up with, and that's the next step. And what I guess your ultimate question was, how do I sign up with a roommate? So you'll go through the group of 2 self-assign. I haven't set it up yet, but basically we'll put up more information on the website with videos and how to do it. But basically one student, like I mentioned before, will log in, click on the group of 2 self-assign, pull in the other student with their roommate group pin and university ID number, and you'll sign yourself to, or you'll sign the group of 2 together. If you don't have a roommate, that's okay. You can sign up by yourself during the individual self-assign. Now the cool thing about, and the way the roommate group pin works is, if I share with my friend Mary my roommate group pin and my university ID number, and then all of a sudden I decide for whatever reason that I don't want to live with her, I can go in and change my roommate group PIN so that she can't pull me into a group. So that's the way that works. And then once you've self-assigned yourself into a space, you'll be able to click here and see your assignment. So I think that's all I have as far as this. Do you have any questions for me, Trey?
At the moment, I think we've got just about everything covered. I know that Chris, I think you wanted to share something also. So Chris, if you wanted to go ahead and start sharing your screen, we will be able to take a look at what you got.
Thanks, Trey. Emily did a great job of walking everybody through the application process, and that's definitely what you want to be paying attention to now. There's a lot of other great information on our website. If you look at the Take Action or Adapt to Campus Life sections, you'll see a lot of information that'll become more relevant to you over the next few months. So pay attention to the deadlines, of course, how to find a roommate, but pay attention to the move-in guide. That'll be updated as we make changes for the fall semester to let you know when to arrive to campus and what that'll look like. You can see the moving out guide right now if you want to know what that process looks like. There's a lot of information about adapting to campus life, including living with a roommate, how to make that transition. There's a lot of information about our department as well. So if you want to learn a little bit more about what it's like to live on campus, I would highly suggest you check out the website. There'll be information updated throughout the year, so that's a great resource for you for anything related to on-campus housing.
Fantastic. Thank you all so much. We do have a couple of questions that we got while y'all were presenting. We talked about how to request a roommate. Would residential colleges be a good option for students with disabilities? And they specify disabilities walking. So anyone from our residential colleges or housing want to weigh in on that?
I think I'll let John Sopper address that, because at Mary Faust and Guilford, we have some, I don't know why it left my head. I only go there all the time. But we have limited, we don't have elevators. They're older buildings built in 1928. So there are some limits if stairs are a difficulty. So I know Grogan has an elevator and that presents more options. So I'll let John talk about that a little bit.
Happy to jump in. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, we do everything at UNCG to make sure that our programs are as available as possible to students. So I would say two things about it. There are, the entrances to, say, the Grogan Residential Hall and most, all of the other halls have been adjusted so that there's pretty ease of access from the outside. We do have an elevator. There are some rooms within Grogan Residence Hall that allow for different kinds of accommodation that have been specifically set aside, and maybe some of our folks from housing can talk about the housing piece of that. But in terms of the activities, the programs, the courses that make up the residential colleges, I think that one of the benefits of a residential college is these are smaller communities. They are very tight-knit communities. We do emphasize a lot on support and engagement with students. So I think in addition to the facilities, which you have to consider depending on the issues that you're dealing with, I think that as a general rule, the residential colleges are going to be places where you find a lot of students who are going to be good friends and good support, as well as faculty and staff who live and work in the buildings all day long. Sarah said she's there every day, all day. So there's a lot of support there in terms of the community support.
I just wanted to clarify too that students, we can have access, as John pointed out. Housing's done a great job providing access to the buildings, the main floor, so they can access the main floor. And female students can live in the first floor at Mary Faust, and male and female students can live in Guilford on the first floor, and they have access to the classrooms. So there's just a couple spots in the building that might be trickier.
Fantastic. All right, Chris or Emily, y'all got anything to add just about accessibility to residence halls?
I was gonna say, if you can let me, I'm gonna share my screen one more time, show you our website. If you go to Take Action in Housing Situations, this is where our special accommodation form is. So if you have a disability where you need a specific kind of accommodation, you have to register with ORS, and then you fill out this accommodation form, and it's shared with housing and the ORS office, and ORS will tell us, you know, this student needs this type of room, and then we'll work to find that space and assign the student to the type of room he needs. So on this form, you can put, I'm part of the Grogan Residential College and I have this. If we can make it work, we do our best to, you know, make the accommodations in the learning communities if we can. If not, we'll work with the communities and say, hey, this person's a part of it. How can we make this work? Sometimes we have to tell them, unfortunately, you know, we don't have that accommodation in the residential college or the learning community. But for just, you know, the disability is part of it. We do have these on our website. You can see what accommodations we have.
Fantastic. Thank you, Emily. Alrighty, everyone. So we're going to keep on going with a couple other questions, and we've actually got another question for housing. Our student Kennedy has a question about Ragsdale Mendenhall Residence Hall. On the housing application and on the website, that hall is listed as a first-year hall. Are there only freshmen that live in that residence hall, or is it open to anybody?
I can take that one, or Chris, you want to? Okay. So yes, typically our traditional halls are, the freshmen have priority. With the past few years, we've just not been able to fill all of the freshmen or traditional doubles or traditional halls with freshmen. We do allow our upperclassmen to live in those spaces. So you will find upperclassmen in Ragsdale Mendenhall and pretty much in all of our traditional halls, just because of the nature we aren't able to fill them with freshmen.
Fantastic. And I know for sure that we are going to be getting a question later on. Can I pull, or can my upper class friend pull me into their apartment? And I believe the answer would be no, right?
No, but they can, you can live with them in a traditional hall, so.
Fantastic. All right. Well, if anyone has a question about that, just let us know. Alrighty, Dakota is hoping that someone is going to be able to talk about meal plans. What is the difference between meal plans? And Dakota, I'm going to guess that you're probably a first-year student, so we can talk about just the first-year meal plans. And I'd actually like either one of our Spartan guides, so either Will or Deja or Bethany, if y'all wanted to talk about meal plans, tell us what you know about them.
Yeah, so coming in as a first-year student, you have two different options. You have Spartan Unlimited. This gives you unlimited swipes into our dining hall. So when we say swipes, think of it as like a buffet style. So you swipe in and you get everything that you want. If you leave, then of course that swipe goes away. Also with this Spartan Unlimited, I want to say it's about $100 in flex. So with $100 in flex, you can use at any of our on-campus restaurants. We also have some off-campus restaurants that are some of our flex partners. So basically think of that as a declining balance on your Spartan card. So if I want to go to Home Slice and my pizza's like $7 for whatever reason, then that's going to be declining from my Spartan card. You can also always reload on your Spartan card as well. So I know I've call my mom and say, hey, Mom, I need some money on my Spartan card. Can you put some up there? So you can ask, maybe it's family members, friends, whoever, or even yourself. If you want to upload to your Spartan card, you can definitely can. And the cool thing about the balance is that until you graduate, you'll always have it rolling over. So you can maybe end one semester with 100, that's going to roll over to the next semester. And like I said, up until you graduate. We also do have the Spiral 15. So that's 15 swipes per week in the dining hall. And basically with that, like I said before, it's buffet style, so you can swipe in, but the swipes, they do not roll over to the next week. So you can use 15 swipes or you can use 13, but that extra 2 is not going to roll over to the next week. Someone, if you can, I do not remember the actual flex amount. I want to say maybe 250. I could be
250.
wrong. Okay, 250, yes. That's the one I had. So I remember I would use my flex on the weekend, and then I would eat in the dining hall using my swipes on the weekdays. So those are 2 options for our first year students.
Fantastic. All right, thank you so much, Deja. We've got another question here from Rebecca, and Rebecca is a transfer student and has questions about the residential colleges. Rebecca applied to Ashby and was wondering what some traditions within the residence hall are, and also when should I hear back about my application to Ashby. So let's see, Bethany, I think you're our Ashby student, and maybe Will too. So let's start with Bethany. What are some of the traditions that we can experience within the Ashby Residential College?
Yeah, so we have a lot of traditions in our community. Obviously, with COVID, some of them have been altered, but the community has done a really good job at making sure that we get to keep those traditions. One big thing that we do is we put on a haunted house every single year, and we get canned goods and all that raised up. For the Spartan Open Pantry, we do pizza and pumpkins in the fall, which is really fun. We put on Rocky Horror Picture Show. We do a little Faust giving thing with everyone normally. So those are just a handful of things. There are more that you can check out on the website. And then obviously, of course, we have a commencement at the end of the semester. So yeah.
All I want to say is taco, 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 I want a burrito. Sorry, that was my Rocky Horror takeaway. Will, tell us about your residential college experience.
It was a really fun one. I mean, I'm still here. I've been here for about 3 years now. So I've seen a little bit before all COVID happened, but we've done pretty well. I don't feel that much different. We still had the haunted house, which Bethany, you did phenomenal in. I think you can actually view that online if you want to get an idea of what Ashby does. I think they filmed the video and posted it to UNCG. So just type in like Mary Faust Haunted House. I'm sure it will pop up. That's one of my favorite traditions that we have here every year. I think it's just a fun time. And I think it just shows just how much these residential colleges really promote community. A lot of the times we hold events where people that aren't involved with the residential colleges get to come out, such as Fauststock, where we get to have like a bunch of live musicians come out to play. Fauster Con is a really cool time. It's kind of like a small comic con that our dorm puts on. And we have small like little clubs as well, like you would think of in like a high school. So it really does feel like a community. Like there's journalism. They have something called Pub Fight that they post every other week or every month. I was a part of yearbook and membership. I know Bethany was also a part of that. That was a fun time. We were going to do a time capsule, never got completed, but it was a fun little thing. And I think the residential colleges, one thing that it really taught me was just how much creative freedom you're going to have going forward as an adult, because I've had a lot of unique experiences as well as opportunities to put my voice out there, which I really appreciated.
Fantastic. All right, so Sarah or John, tell us about when students can expect to hear back about their applications to the residential colleges.
Well, let me go ahead and jump in here real quick. We review applications in Ashby and Strong after students have enrolled. So once you've committed to UNCG and you've decided to come here, then your application, as long as it's complete, we'll review, and we review those every 2 weeks. So depending on when you applied to Ashby, and as long as you've committed to coming to UNCG, then you'll be on the docket. As a matter of fact, well, we were supposed to review applications tomorrow, but it looks like classes have been canceled and everything's been shut down because of the weather. So we'll probably do it Monday if you applied recently. So, but the trick is, yeah, definitely go ahead and commit to coming, and then we can review. So those 2 steps are contingent for sure. John, do you want to add, is there a different process for Grogan or?
No, that's about our process. Also, I will tell you that if you've already committed to UNCG and you're enrolled here and you applied to Grogan College and you haven't heard back, let me know, because at this point we are up to date, at least as of this morning. So unless we made an error and skipped somebody, you should have heard if you've already enrolled at UNCG.
Fantastic. I think that also brings up a really, really important point, that you need to enroll at UNCG. So if you have not already, go log into your Spartan Link account and click that little button that says, yes, I am coming to UNCG. All of this is going to happen after you click that button. Now, I understand if you are waiting to hear back about financial aid, that is completely okay. Financial aid information is coming out in March, and we will be having another event exactly like this one right here, where we will be talking to financial aid counselors. So that way you can get a better understanding of what to expect from financial aid. So if you want to wait until then, that is totally okay. But if you want to go ahead and experience all of these things that we are talking about right now, log into your Spartan Link account and click yes, I am coming to UNCG because we want you here. Oh, and Sarah, you got another thing?
Yeah, I just wanted to add just a little something to what Emily was saying about the application for housing. I know several students over the years have been confused about, well, I've applied for a residential college and I filled out the residential college application. Do I also need to fill out an application for housing? Yes, you do, because housing needs to know where you're going to live on campus, even though we might know because you applied here. Housing doesn't manage the residential college applications. Those are really different animals. So you have to do both, and you have to apply to housing and pay your fee or have it waived. And once that's done, we can assign you. But once you've applied and been accepted, we'll hold your spot until that process is done. But both pieces need to get done. I just want to make sure students know because they always ask.
Fantastic. So let's go over those steps one more time. Apply to UNCG, be admitted, confirm that you are coming, and then set up your computer accounts, apply for housing, and then be admitted into the residential college. Alrighty. Oh, and I think I might have skipped a step because the actual residential college application is in the apply step. But I covered that. Alrighty, so let's see. We've got a housing question here about roommate assignments. How are roommates assigned if you do not know who you want to live with? Are there things like compatibility questionnaires or anything like that?
No, since you're self-assigning yourself to the space, there's no compatibility. You just log in, you select a space, and if you select a space with this person already in it, then you can immediately go in and see who your roommate is once you've assigned yourself. And if you don't like it, you can deassign and reassign yourself in the next wave if you want.
Fantastic. If you don't know someone that you want to live with, is it exactly the same way?
What do you mean? That's like the individual self-assign. If you know someone you want to live with, you would sign up as a group of two, and you put yourself together. And then at that point, you already know who it is that you're signed up with.
Gotcha. So there's nothing like eHarmony or anything going on this year?
No.
Gotcha. Alrighty. And while we're talking to you, Emily, can you also explain what the difference is between the group of two self-assign and individual self-assign?
So in the group of two self-assign, you're signing yourself and another person up into an empty room. With the individual self-assign, you're selecting a space by yourself in a two-bedroom traditional double. So you'll either select a space and there'll be another space released for someone else to select the space, or you'll select a space that's someone else has already selected. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you're either going to put yourself into your own room and then have somebody else join you later, or you're going to put two people into a room right now, or you're going to join someone who's already there.
Yeah, and as I mentioned before when I was showing you the what Artemis looks like for a freshman, you saw there was a find a roommate. We do have where you can log into Canvas and post on the group and try to find a roommate if you want to try to find someone that way. I know other people use social media. They may know someone from high school, church, or another organization. So if you know someone and you want to live with them, you would just sign up together as a group of two. If you're still wanting a platform to search for people, we do have our Canvas roommate finder. So you can use that as well.
Fantastic. That's kind of where
I have a question for Emily that might be helpful for people also who might be wondering. Emily, can you help us understand, say, in this process, since it's a rolling process and I might not get my financial aid award or I might not make my decision till later. If I decide later that I wanted to join a residential college and I've already, say, completed the housing application, or I hear that I'm accepted to a residential college after that, what are there steps that folks can do to change their original assignment?
Yeah, so you're asking if I'm a freshman, I apply, I go through the process, I select a space in, let's say, Phillips Hawkins, and then all of a sudden I get accepted to Grogan Residential College. There is a deassign process, so I can deassign from Phillips Hawkins, so I can be assigned to Grogan. Otherwise, what we'll do is I'll see that, oh, this student's assigned to Phillips Hawkins, and Grogan is telling me that they can be assigned to Grogan, usually I'll note that and I'll let Grogan reach out to the student and make sure they really want it before we reassign them. We try to make sure we do what the student wants. I know sometimes for freshmen, they can be overwhelmed and, they just sign up for everything because they're not really sure. So we do try to verify and make sure, a student really wants to live in Grogan before I, release their space in Phillips Hawkins. So we try to work with the student as best we can.
Fantastic. Thank you, John, for asking that. It's always a really interesting method to go about it because it's not always the way that people go one step to another. Sometimes you go forward, sometimes you go backwards. All right, so I do want to address, kind of the elephant that's been in the room for a while. What is housing doing with the COVID-19 pandemic? So, Chris, let's talk to you. How are residence halls handling keeping everyone safe?
Sure, that's a great question. Again, I would ask you to check out the website to get a full understanding of all the steps that have been taken to keep students safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. It really started in the fall. We changed a lot of our processes about how and when we moved folks in. We've limited the number of folks that can come into the residence halls to make sure that our on-campus community is kept as safe as possible. We've taken steps to de-densify the residence halls to spread people out a little bit where possible. And we really worked with students to understand some new policies that were put in place to limit COVID-19 spread. One great thing that you can see online is real-time numbers of any kind of positive cases of students, faculty, staff, contractors, anybody affiliated with the university. And I think because we've been so aggressive in some of our stances, including testing in the spring, having students test before they return to the residence halls and then test again once they were back in the residence halls, we've been able to keep the spread very, very slow compared to the community. We've also taken an entire residence hall offline to use for isolation and quarantine for students that may need that for a short period of time. And we've gotten a lot of help from great campus partners, from dining services to parking, the police. It's been a real effort to keep folks safe, but also keep folks here on campus. I think we've been successful and able to do this because of that planning, but especially because of how great the students have been in following the guidelines, asking questions, making sure they understand how to keep each other safe. And we've been able to do that. So should the pandemic continue into the fall, which we expect in some capacity it will, we'll certainly keep everybody up to date on what we need to do and what's expected to continue to keep the campus population safe.
Fantastic. And like I said earlier, we have done a really, really incredible job. Housing has done amazing. All of our housekeeping staff is so diligent in keeping all of the residence halls clean and sanitized so that way everyone stays safe. And numbers of COVID cases here at UNCG have stayed consistently low throughout the entirety of last semester and so far this semester too. And like Chris said, you can go on to the UNCG COVID-19 dashboard and see exactly how many people on campus, including students, faculty, staff, contractors, anyone who has tested positive for COVID. And you can see that it is substantially lower than our community. So we are very proud of that. Now, Katie, I want to talk to you just a little bit so that way we can talk to you in Austin about orientation this summer. So Katie, tell me, what has your experience as an orientation leader been like through the previous semester, doing everything online and moving forward, still doing orientation and Soar through an online capacity this upcoming summer?
Yeah, so Soar this past year and this year will be virtual. We still do as best as we can to still help transition new students and inform them about campus and all the resources we have. It's been a really great experience. I've met a lot of great people and learned even more about UCG. It's helped me a lot because I am a very shy person, and it's really helped me grow personally and professionally, and just making a lot of new connections with new students, faculty, and with my teammates.
Fantastic. Austin, you got anything you would like to add about upcoming orientation this summer?
Yeah, one thing I'll just make sure you go ahead and, as soon as, again, confirm your intent to enroll. If you're a first-year freshman, go ahead and fill out that class schedule interest survey. Our advisors use that to pre-register you for classes, and go ahead and pick a Soar date and go ahead and block that date off. We're having a great full day of virtual activities. Again, you have a chance to meet with Katie and the rest of our Spartan orientation staff with small groups, and also meet other new students that are coming to the university via Zoom and then via GroupMe and some other ways just to get you connected and start meeting students early on.
Love that. And now I remember last year or last fall, we had Soar, the campus edition. Is that going to be happening again this upcoming fall whenever we get back onto campus?
That's a great question, Trey. And I see Chris is smiling because we always know we're still waiting. But our hope is to offer some type of welcome program, whether it's a Navigator or a modified Soar in August prior to classes starting. We do have some August dates held. We haven't released them yet. We're going to get everyone into June if we can. But if students are decide a little bit later on they're coming to UNCG, we will have some August virtual orientation and also any catch-all right before classes start. We are hoping to offer some welcome programming Thursday, Friday, maybe the weekend, Monday before classes start. What that is exactly TBD, but we want to make sure students get accustomed to campus and used to campus prior to classes starting. One last thing I will plug that we'll do the first 2 days that continues through the first week of classes is called Spartan Spears. So we have a program of students and faculty and staff wear these bright lime green t-shirts with their face covering on throughout campus, and we'll help you get to all your buildings across campus. So if you're coming across College Ave, you're not sure where the School of Ed building, just find someone in a lime green t-shirt and they'll help point you to that building where you want to go.
Very nice. Thank you, Austin. Have any of our students on the panel been a spear? Deja, I think, yeah, and Bethany, and Katie. Deja, what was being a spear like for you? I imagine you probably get some interesting questions sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, most definitely. Sometimes you get the questions like, oh, where's the dining hall? And we're standing right in front of the dining hall. But it's completely okay because I remember when I was a first-year student and it was really big to me. Like UNCG's campus was huge and it was just a new environment. So personally for me, being a spear, it was really good. Like I said before, I love communicating with new students or even current students. So I knew I was able to help them, and that was really the drive for me.
Fantastic. All right. Marcus, I feel like it's been a minute since we've heard from you, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the residential colleges because you're definitely passionate about the one that you're in. That is Grogan. Can you tell me what is Grogan like as a residence hall and also as a residence hall that you take classes in?
So one thing that I will say about any residential college, especially Grogan, it doesn't matter if you're introverted, extroverted, family oriented, you're an individual, outgoing, outspoken, you're quiet, you like to sit back, you like to be in the corner, you like to be in the front, you like to talk all the time, you don't like to talk at all. It doesn't matter. This is a perfect place for you as a freshman to grow. And I really put an emphasis on grow because a lot of times, we want to, if I've been dreaming to be a lawyer, law school, all that stuff, you want to go straight forward. But you have to realize in college, that's not what it's really about. It's about life. So when you take these courses and you live with other people, you start to hear more ideas, more perspectives. You get to hear the truth of things that you didn't learn in high school and things like that. So you get to grow as a person. So a lot of times you'll change a major. Or if you come in as an exploratory major, they'll help you find a major that best suits you based on the courses and just simply living with different people that you've never met before. For example, I'm from a small town, North Carolina. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's called Zebulon, North Carolina. Mm-hmm. Now, that's where I'm born and raised. That's where I live. There are people here from Kinston, people here not even from North Carolina that I get to meet because we live here together, close friends. And one thing that at Grogan and other residential colleges is your professionalism and building connection, not just friendships, but connections with people so that after you both depart and you go your separate ways, you'll always have that connection with each other. So if you want to do like a business venture or have an idea that you want to run with, that's what it's here for. And another thing that I really, really, really love about Grogan and the residential colleges is the leadership opportunities. This is a perfect way to get your feet wet. This is a perfect way to hit the ground running. There are opportunities like Hall Council that I was a part of, being a community ambassador, being a teaching intern. There they even let you, they give you the space to run your own events that you're really passionate about. And just having that small sense of community, because, you know, like Deja said, the campus is big. This is a big campus, especially if you come from a small town or you family, or this pretty big, it scare you. So when you're here and you're around people that make you feel comfortable, you start to open up more. You start to explore more. You start to learn more about yourself and learn more about other people. And in doing so, that boosts your leadership. It doesn't need, like I said, it doesn't matter if you like talk, don't like talk at all. You're going to be a leader someday, even by following. That's being a leader. So with these opportunities, they all connect by helping you grow, not just as a student, because I know you get pride about you need to make good grades and do that's fine, that's important. But would you rather just grow up being a student, a good student, or a good person, or a good professional? That's what the residential college open your eyes to see. And for those who are very iffy about joining the residential college because it's not something you've ever done before, take the chance. Just apply to see if you get in. Well, you probably will because y'all are smart people. Crap for y'all. This is a really good chance for you all. It's a very good opportunity. And one thing about UNCG in general that they pour into the residential college is that the opportunities that you get early on as a freshman that will set you up for stepping stones for the next opportunity that you may take, that you may not even know about. So like I said, if you change your major or in your major, you find a different career path that you had no idea about. That's what the residential colleges are about, that small community that helps you feel comfortable, open up, grow, and explore.
Fantastic. Well, thank you. Very well said, Marcus. I will say, you know, you said you're going to grow as a student, you're going to grow as a leader. I absolutely did grow as a leader because, Sarah, I'm sure I sat in your office, I don't know how many times, and said, I'm going to change my major. And then I did about 5 times. And then I think I sat in your...
great.
Yeah, I mean, I got a job. And then I sat in your office and said, I don't know how to run this cooking committee. And you said, well, here's what we need to do. And I figured it out. And then I realized later on that you ran your own restaurant, so that's how you knew. But you are absolutely right, Marcus, that you will absolutely grow. I do want to just kind of wrap up, if we could, in one sentence, either Dr. Littlejohn or Professor Sopper. What is the purpose of a residential college? And you can each have one sentence. I'll give you each one sentence.
You go first, John.
Yeah, okay. I think that the purpose of a residential college is, the way we approach it in Grogan, is to figure out, you know, who you are, what you care about, and then how you can use your education at UNCG to grow towards where you need to be. You know, what it is, one of my colleagues, Dr. Colonna, talks about, you know, what is the impact you want to have? And I think we try to help students use the opportunity of college to figure out what that is and then how to best use UNCG to get there.
Fantastic. All right, Dr. Littlejohn, what you got for us?
I agree with John 100%, and Marcus and everybody else who's chimed in about leadership. I think the residential colleges can give students the space to become comfortable with who they are and who they want to become. As Marcus pointed out, and as Deja pointed out, it can be a big space to come to be one of, let's say, 3,000 freshmen or 2,500 freshmen, depending on how many there are. And in the residential colleges, you're one of 150, or with COVID, about 100. So since we've spaced people out to be safe, this is a place where we can give you a little opportunity, a little space to flourish and grow.
Fantastic. Any student who does not live in a residential college, what is it like just living in a regular residence hall here on campus? I think, Katie, you might be the only one, or Deja.
Well, actually, I started off in the honors college, and that was a really good experience because, like we've been talking about, it's like a smaller community within, your own community. So that's really how I was able to flourish and grow. After that, I was a resident advisor for 2 years. So I worked in other buildings that, weren't considered to be residential colleges. And that's still a good experience as well, because you still get that community no matter what. In some of our living learning communities, like More Strong, if you're really passionate about service, which is one of our things that we're really passionate about at UNCG, then you can definitely participate in that. If you want to live in the Quad, which is Jack and Jill suite style, that's another opportunity for students when you get to your upperclassmen years. But even, like I said before, living in those other residence halls that aren't considered to be residential colleges is still a good experience. There's still opportunity to grow within those halls as well.
Fantastic. Katie, you got anything for us?
Yes, I would say I would agree with Deja. I've never been in a residential college, but I know I still make connections with my fellow residents. There's many events that happen in the residence halls, and also if you're close with your RA, they're also a very helpful guide for you if you ever need anything.
Fantastic. All right, friend.
One more thing, Trey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just that I agree. It's really about fit. It's about finding where you see yourself fitting in best. So there's lots of students that want to be part of a traditional residence hall, and there's lots of students that want to be part of a residential college, but really it's about where you see yourself fitting in best. And there's room for lots of choices.
Fantastic.
And that's on that note. So do your research on the UNCG website and the housing website. There's lots of information about the different halls. There's tours there. You can watch a tour of many of the halls, and the residential colleges have their own website. So look at the details and know what you're choosing and why. Because I think, as Dr. Littlejohn said, the fit is what's key.
Absolutely, for sure. All right, friends, we are getting down to the end of our time together, and I just want to say thank you to all of our viewers who are out there, all of our panelists. Thanks for being here. We're going to go through a couple rapid-fire questions before we end the evening. We've got a question from YouTube. Will the Wheel Winfield Residence Hall be open in the upcoming semester?
No, it is closed for the 2021-2022 academic year.
Fantastic. All right. And then we've got a question from Tatiana. What is Student Blue insurance, and when does it open? I don't know if we have our insurance specialist on, but Student Blue insurance, I can potentially answer this. All UNCG students are required to have some kind of health insurance here on campus. So if you have your own insurance, you can use that and you can waive the Student Blue requirement, or you can get Student Blue insurance, which is offered through the school.
Trey, I'll jump in quickly. Is typically triggered after you get signed up for classes, and then you'll have a deadline period kind of after you get signed up for classes, a little bit into the start of the semester.
Fantastic. Yep. So you will be able to register for Student Blue or waive that requirement after you sign up for classes. All right, Emily, yes or no? This is our last question of the day. Do we have to get a COVID test before classes start in the fall?
That decision hasn't been made, I don't think. Chris, do you know if... I don't think it has been made. We'll let you know. We are doing testing right now. It'll just depend on where we are with the pandemic come June. I'm sure by then we'll have an answer for you.
Fantastic. A big old, I don't know yet, but we will know soon. Alrighty, friends. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. It has been a fantastic experience, and I cannot believe that an hour has gone by already. I want all of our viewers to remember that you are immediately a member of the Spartan family, and we are so proud and so happy to have you here with us. I just want to say congratulations one more time for being admitted. You did that. We just hit the button that said admit. So give yourself a pat on the back. You absolutely deserve it. All right, we are going to be coming back in March with a live Q&A, very much like this one, all about financial aid. So if you want to learn more about financial aid, you can come join us for that live stream in March. So friends, that is going to wrap us up for today. Thanks again for being here with us. If you have any final questions after the stream has ended, you can of course text those questions to us, and we are going to leave that texting number up on the screen at the end of the stream. All right, y'all, we're going to head home. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you again later. Bye.